Santos.
Oh my god.
Santos.
Oh my god.
Ice Game 6, episode 14. What's up? Welcome back. Sorry we were gone for so long.
Yeah, we were doing some holiday stuff.
What's going on, guys? Mason Pucci, representing New Caney.
We got Mason in the building. This is Derek's friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's been wanting to be on the podcast for a really long time, and he's super funny, so we're going to do it.
It's a big moment, guys.
We've just had a series of, like, technical difficulties or whatever, but we really finally got it going, even though we're like, whatever, it's good. Today we're just talking about Mason and his life story.
Yeah, guys, I got some crazy adventures for y'all.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about Mason a couple times on the podcast before.
But you never got to see, like, in full scope what Mason was like. And this, I think, would represent pretty well.
Yeah, and then also, for some reason, my parents got me a Bob Ross Chia Pet for Christmas. So while we're doing this, I'm gonna try to grow this thing. I've never done one of these before.
They're pretty easy. You just, like, put the seeds on it and put water. I had, like, a Scooby-Doo one. It's pretty chill.
I've actually never seen these before.
Only
well, I
90s
have,
kids
but,
would
like, only
remember.
on advertisements.
Yeah, only 90s kids would remember.
I've always wanted a Chia Pet. I think it's pretty cool.
I remember seeing them at, like, Hobby Lobby.
If anyone knows who, like, Rhett and Link, they have a podcast, like, morning show kind of thing called Good Mythical Morning. And it originally, like, 5 or 6 years ago, it was called Good Morning Chia Lincoln. And they had, like, a Chia Lincoln, like, Abraham Lincoln pet that they would grow the hair on. And they would, like, talk to it. It's kind of weird.
I always kind of thought that, like, Chia Pets were like sea monkeys. I never really thought they were, like, alive, like actual plants.
Sea monkeys are alive.
I mean, yeah, they're
just
like the
brine
shrimp things, but I always thought there was, like, kind of less of it than what people thought they were.
They're just, like, little...
It's a plant.
Yeah, it's just, like,
It just
grass.
grows hair.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never actually even seen the thing outside the box.
Well, over time, you'll be able to see the majesty of Bob Ross grow.
Yeah, I love Bob Ross. I got this Bob Ross t-shirt. It's pretty dope. We're doing the show on a Saturday, by the way, because I have to go back to LA to film some more stuff on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't want to go another week without doing the podcast, so we decided just, like, screw it, we'll do it on a Saturday. And I don't know, it kind of ruined our pattern, but I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, you have to leave it, like, Monday at, like, 6 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that, right?
It's just
Yeah.
good to put the episode out as early as possible. We've been taking, like, a break.
Yeah, well, because we've just been, like...
Because every past Monday's been a holiday. It's
Sorry for that,
Christmas
like,
and,
ASMR. It was hard to get this thing out of the box.
Not very satisfying.
Anyways, Mason, while I'm doing this, tell the people who you are, what your life's like.
All right, literally begin things off. My name's Mason Pucci. When I was 7 years old, I got hit by a car.
It's true.
That's like the origin story. That's where it all begins.
That's where he got his superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like Daredevil, whenever he fell off the back of that truck. into
Yeah.
the toxic waste or
Now I
whatever.
got chronic migraines, guys. Check this out. So I was riding my scooter down like a cul-de-sac, and the cul-de-sac goes down like a one-way, and then it bridges off to like a two-path thing. And I was crossing a road. It was these senior citizens, and they hit me off like my bike, dude. So I was in a rush to get to football, because my mom was on the other side like shouting at me. And I got hit by a car. It was insane, dude. I was on the hood, and the car stopped, and I just jumped off and hit the concrete. It's pretty crazy.
How did that make you feel? Pretty bad.
I don't know. Just got hit by a car, you know?
Like I almost got hit by a car once on a bike, but I just hit the side of the car.
It was pretty crazy. Well, it wasn't like too bad. It's not like the windshield cracked or like, you know, it wasn't like I had any scratches or anything. It was just kind of like, you know, in shock, like deer in
Yeah.
headlights.
I know what you mean. Like whenever I like did that, like I was just riding my bike and then fucking a car pulled out in front of me, and like just wanted to run a stop sign, and I like went straight into the side of it because like he pulled up way too close, and then I just kind of like sat there for a minute and was like, what the fuck? That was like weird. I could have like really got hit by that car.
I know, dude. It's insane.
I don't know. It's just freaky. Like whenever you have like a near death experience like that, I guess
Yeah.
it just always like puts your mind in a different like sense.
Mm-hmm. Last summer, I got like a spinal tap. If you don't know what that is, that's like to get like spinal fluid for testing. They have a small needle go into your spinal canal and like draw the fluid out. It's not like blood or anything. It's like clear, and they need to measure like the level using like a certain thermometer thing. It's kind of confusing to explain, but like it felt like dying, dude. It was pretty crazy. I like couldn't move my legs, and I like went completely numb, and it felt like electricity was bolting through my spine. It was insane. It took me 2 weeks to recover.
Did you feel like you were like having like all your muscles were kind of like contracting or something?
No, it just felt like electricity jolting through your like lower half. It's insane.
I just had to go baptize the Bob Ross. I was in the. It said it like I read the instructions just now, and it said it needed to be soaked in water for 30 minutes. So I just filled up the sink and put him in there. So in 30 minutes, we'll take him out and we'll start painting his hair on, and he'll be like our little dude.
A little dude. But yeah, that's some pretty heavy stuff.
I'm looking forward to that.
Ever since
That's a
then,
big
like
thing.
Mason unlocked this new channel in his brain of like a fourth dimensional. Like Mason can get out of any sort of trouble at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like fate just like works in a way like he'll get in trouble with his mom, and his mom will be like right about to beat his ass, and then something else will happen, and all of a sudden like she forgets about it, or like
yeah,
at
it's
school.
been crazy. It's been happening for the past like month straight. Like anytime I'm in any kind of like sketchy situation, like grades or anything, like some sort of Deus Ex Machina like jumps in. It's been literally insane.
So Deus Ex Machina just comes out and fixes my life for a second.
Like Mason should have been kicked out of school like 5 different times, and every time he came up with some bullshit excuse and got out of it.
One time all I had to do is just kind of like get a really good grade on the star, and it's just like something I always do. So it's just like it all works out.
Yeah, I've been there.
He got in trouble one time and then just like left school, and then like passed the grade anyways because his star was good enough. So he just left like 8th grade like early.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. I left for like, well, it wasn't like early. We still had like a whole 3 weeks left, but that's like a grading check mark, you know, out of the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, and you just didn't have to do it because
Yeah,
you just left.
it was pretty nice. I did dodge a lot of work.
What's a tale of one of your adventures? I wasn't in the room, so I don't know if you said something.
No,
Alright.
He was just giving like a good word.
One time to like get a bike back from like my friend Joseph back when, me and Derek had to ride like all the way 2 miles to his house initially, but I was like leading the way, and like my tired brain just kind of like really knocked into like high gear, and I thought we were going there because it's around Hunter's Ridge, and somehow I got twisted away. And y'all guys know where that like old CC's Pizza is, or like a I think there's a GameStop down there too. We like ended up like 10 whole miles away from the friend's house, and I was riding the entire way there with a flat tire on both ends, and I just kept pushing through, and I kept pace with like Derek for the entire way there, and then like 10 miles back there was like still that 2 miles all the way back to Derek's house, and Derek had to ride that, and he could only run like about a mile there, and I had to take over. So all in all, it's like 14 miles all the way there and back
I
on a
mean,
fucking
it was
flat
more.
tired bike.
It was more that like I knew that you would take it back because you felt the duty to complete your mission.
Oh man, that
A
was
true
completely
soldier
mind
never
over
gives
matter.
up.
Dude, no, Mason would live like he moved to a different house, and it was like a 20-minute bike ride. Like, how long was your bike ride?
It was literally 3 miles there and then like 3 miles back, so like 6 miles.
Oh
every
no, but you
single
would
day.
walk it sometimes, and you
Yeah,
would
literally
you would
in the
come to our
summertime.
house. You wouldn't text me or Derek.
Cause I didn't have a phone during the time.
And like, you know how like whenever you're a kid, you're probably like 10, 11 years old. You go to your friend's house, you knock on the door, you're like, "Hey, is like fucking Timothy home?" And their parents are like, "Yeah." You know, that's kind of rude whenever you're older. Mason would just show up. This kid's like 13, knocking on the door. Is Derek home? No, he's doing something. He's with his girlfriend or whatever. And he'd be like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll just walk another 3 miles back home."
Well, like the thing was, it was kind of like a routine. I'd go to like Derek's house first, and I'd go to this different friend's house, Nathan. If he wasn't home, I'd go to Austin's house, and if he wasn't home, I'd go to Logan's house. Like every time, at least one person would be home.
I think you just like outed the order of your friends.
It's not like that.
If I couldn't go to his house, then I would go to this house.
It's just about like destination.
Yeah, like honestly, I see what you mean because like you'd make the loop and then come back around. you know?
Yeah.
Colton
and
has
just
a
walk
similar
around.
thing, but it's with girls.
Huh?
It's like you're gonna go to one's house, but like if they're not home, you know, you just go to the next one.
Oh yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
It wasn't that funny now that he explained the joke, though.
yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
It's all good.
Sorry if I look bad. I'm a little under the weather lately. I've been sick for like the past 4 days.
Yeah, you're gonna give us like Ligma or something.
Sugima.
Have you met Wilma?
Yeah, you're gonna get. Like,
Yeah, have you met Wilma?
Who's Wilma?
Wilma hairy butthole fit in your mouth.
Ew, what the fuck?
Wilma. And the full joke is, do you know Wilma Harry?
Dude, I thought you were talking in Sugamanese.
Oh, the Sugamanese tribe?
Yeah, suck on my nuts, bitch.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Those jokes are completely dead meme. We leave that in 2018.
Well, honestly, the Wilma was pretty good. I hadn't heard that.
Wilma, yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. One time I was at like actually, I'm not gonna disclose my location,
Porter.
but I was like with some guys and we were prank calling places. Whenever I was like, I don't know, like 10 or 11, we called Walmart. And like, granted, this is kind of like fucked up. Like, I wouldn't do this today, but I was like 10 or 11, so like, you can cut me a little bit of slack. But like, we called Walmart, and I told him that like we had a friend that was like a little bit like slow, like he had autism or like Down syndrome or something, and that we lost him in the store, and that we needed them to call him over the intercom because we couldn't get a hold of him. And they were like, okay, and we are like, yeah, his name is Hubert Jass. And they were like, okay, and they were about to do it. We were like, wait. You know, if you need to call him Hugh. If you call him Hubert, he kind of freaks out. He doesn't like that name too much, you know. He thinks it's dorky. So they were on the intercom. They're like, Hugh Jass to the front. We need Hugh Jass to please come to the front. Your friends are looking for you. And we all just died. It was like hilarious.
I do that, but like I would be like, can you help me find my mom? She left me here.
Yeah, that would happen to me all the time. Like, I would be at church, and then, like, we'd go to church. It'd be, like, 9 o'clock in the morning, you know? And then I'd end up leaving at, like, 6 p.m. because my parents, like, forgot about me, and then they never answered their phone. Because they had, like, 5 kids,
Oh my
and I
God.
would just always be wandering off doing something.
Bro.
And it would be, like, fucking Home Alone. Like, I'm little Kevin, you know what I'm saying?
No, that one time that we went to church and your parents thought we skipped church and went to my house, but we were still at church.
Dude, my mom exploded.
We were like, what? We were here. We were at church.
We just went to the video game room.
Yeah.
One time when I was like, I think maybe 4 or 5, I got lost at the zoo for like 3 whole hours. And it was like a huge deal.
No, one time...
It was during like Labor Day, and there was like a huge amount of people there, some sort of holiday.
Did
like
you
that.
feel like you would never see your parents again, so you're gonna have to live in the zoo?
Like, what the hell? Where's
Like, were
my
you,
mom,
like,
dude? I
like-
just kept looking.
Bro, if I was in that situation, I would have fashioned a spear and started hunting.
Well, like, you know how the zoo is kind of like a loop?
Yeah.
like my mom was all the way back here, and I was like here, and I was like, where the fuck? Where's my mom?
So you just kept going?
Yeah, I just kept going. Like as a 4-year-old.
You had to keep going until you laughed her.
No, just eventually, like I stopped down, and they caught up with me.
Bro, we gotta get like go-karts and go through the zoo because it's like a track, you know? It'd be like Mario Kart.
I think there's some fucking wooden bridges at the zoo you gotta cross. It'd be insane.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like
Kart.
Mario Kart.
No, get like crotch rockets.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the little mini bikes. I
Mhm.
used to have a cool ass pit bike. It had a 150cc in it.
Mhm.
I gave it to Daniel, and then Daniel traded it for like a cool hoverboard.
I think it was like
Damn.
2 hoverboards.
Yeah,
Is-
and maybe some cash too.
Does anyone still ride hoverboards to this day? Like, is that still like a popular thing?
I see some. Like I went over to California, and fucking kids over there still use them. Going around.
I've only ever seen like one person riding a hoverboard like in public, like for transportation purposes.
You go to LA, like not so much anymore because the fad kind of died, and people realized that it's actually easier to just walk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you go to LA and you'll see like, especially back whenever they were at the height of their popularity, there would be like a whole family. It'd be like 3 little
Yeah.
kids, a mom and a dad, all in like 2 dogs, like hoverboarding or like down Venice Beach, like on the fucking sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't even want to be alive. Honestly,
At that point.
after
That's so,
seeing
like-
that, I was like, you can just
No,
check
because like
me out.
at that
That's
point
how like
you could
Saudi
just,
Arabia.
you could
is.
just get like a bird. Like that's even more practical than a hoverboard.
I want to get a fucking Falcon, bro.
Oh.
Like I've talked about this. Like
Not like a scooter, like I was talking about, like a bird, but he
Like an
means,
actual bird?
falcon.
No, yeah. Like this is my life. Like my life is like an anime character. All right,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I gotta have like my like goal. Shafil. I don't even know why I said that.
Sheffield, you know.
So my last name's Schlosser. Schloss means castle.
Yeah.
So then I gotta build a castle called the Schloss, the castle.
Mhm.
And then at my castle, I gotta have a falcon. And Cole and I talked about this. I'd be at the top of the castle. Some people would like come up, they hit the buzzer. Obviously, they're standing in front of my moat because I gotta have a fucking moat, you know, with crocodiles and shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, go. And I send the falcon with like a little scroll tied to its ankle, and it drops down on the person's shoulder and like delivers them the message. It's like access granted. And then the drawbridge comes down and shit.
Yeah, like you
I
could
have, like,
just,
a
with
similar
the
goal, but
drawbridge
it's,
down,
like,
with the
It's a little bit
falcon.
more grounded.
It's a little more grounded than that.
Yeah.
Than a bird.
Do you think that might? Do you
A
think?
penguin?
Do you think that's too
Or
too
chicken?
much of a goal to
No,
ask for to
no,
have a
mine is
castle
pretty
and
out
a
there.
falcon?
Mine is pretty out there too.
An ostrich?
All right, so you know how at the end of World War II,
Yeah.
like all that gold that was taken away,
Yeah.
like how no one's ever found it.
Mason,
that's-
you're
we-
such a dude.
We've
This
talked
is
about this,
our
like, 10
idea
times.
that we invited you to come do.
Yeah,
What?
like, we
What?
talked about this like 5 times on here. We're gonna go and find the gold
In
that the
Argentina?
Nazis hid in Argentina. Yeah.
Oh man.
The Nazis stole a bunch of money from a bunch of gold from the Jews,
Mm-hmm.
and then they all ran to Argentina. So we're gonna bring metal detectors, and we're gonna film ourselves trying to find the Nazi gold.
Mm-hmm.
We told you this and invited you to come. Now you're trying to come on our podcast and say,
That's messed up, dude.
Oh man.
But do you have any other dreams other than our dreams?
"Yeah, do you have any dreams that are your own?"
Well, hang on. I got this pretty cool like thought going on. All right, did you know that like we're at the point where we can have clones, right?
Yeah.
So you know how everyone's talking about AI is the next big thing? If a giant war breaks out, clones are going to be like the nuclear bomb, and that's going to be like the next thing.
See, the
Honestly-
problem with clones is that they're not like special. They're just people, so you still have to feed them and age them and grow them and
See,
train
I
'em.
thought about that. And
But
like,
we're starting now, dude. 18
Okay.
years, and they're going to be like infinite soldiers, like printed out.
I guess
No,
so,
but-
but a clone would still have a mind of its own. Like it
What
would
would-
still like it's not like a mindless zombie that you can just turn into.
like
a
my thing
soldier.
is like, I thought about this like a couple weeks ago. If there was like a future war where, let's say robots or there were clones, like soldiers were so easy to make that like you didn't have to like draft people and there wasn't like a finite amount of soldiers you could have.
Yeah.
Then like I feel like warfare like on the level that we know would cease to exist because it'd just be a waste of money because you could just drop a nuke
oh,
or anything else like literally like there's no point in creating a clone army.
Yeah, see, my theory is that we won't get to the year 3000 because we're gonna get to a point to where like nations say like Russia or Japan or the United States like come strapped up to a war with like robots to fight people, you know, the people are like, the country's gonna be like, well, we can't keep sending our people to fight robots. That's not really fair, because we're having people die and they're just having robots destroyed. So then it's like, okay, well, we got to make our own robots, and then we got to fight robot versus robot. That's a lot of fucking waste of money.
Yeah, why make all those robots to fight, you know?
So it's like, well, shit. Their soldiers won't fight our robots, and their robots aren't going to fight our robots, because that's just a waste of money. So I guess we just need our robots to go kill, like, innocent people. Then you got, like, Terminator stuff where you see the drones flying by, just pew. But if that doesn't happen, it's just a possibility. What it's really going to lead to is just, well, fuck. Why would we spend trillions of dollars on robots? Let's just nuke the place. And then it's just going to be nukes.
The classic idea of warfare, like, in my mind, is based upon, like, getting resources. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, that's just, you're using too many resources.
In a robot versus robot. Yeah, it'd be cheaper just to blow them up with bombs. I mean, yeah, it's a little more fucked up, but at the same time, it's like, this is war.
Yeah, like...
I feel like within the next 3,000 years, or not up to the year 3000, I think there's going to be one more major, like, holy war. And I feel like Scientology is going to play a part in it because how much money they make.
So I don't think Scientology really makes that much money.
I don't know, dude. They make a lot, dude. Because it's all the celebrities that back it up.
Those Californians, like, they pay 2 taxes.
Yeah, and
the
then
Californian
they skip out taxes.
and then the Scientology tax.
Remember, kids, if you want to go to heaven, you have to spend a lot of money. You got to give a lot of money to the church guys, and then you'll get a happiness meter high enough to go to heaven.
For real?
Scientology. It's something like that. Like, you're not able... Like, you have to get to a certain tier in order before you're, like, enlightened and your soul's ready to go back to the volcano and ascend into fucking the asteroid or whatever the fuck it is. But in order to advance those tiers, it's like you got to spend $120,000 and then $200,000.
Oh, man.
It's all about, you have to put money into the church. I don't know, it's a fucking cult, you know? It's a cult.
Another time also, the voice actor of, like, Marge Simpson got in trouble because, like, on video voice calls, she'd use the voice of, like, Bart Simpson, and she'd, like, talk teens into, like, joining Scientology. And she was using it without Fox's permission, so she got sued for, like, a shit ton.
Dude.
She's also one of the biggest donators of Scientology.
If y'all know, like, the guy Jesus Christ on Fiverr he's like, Jesus here. We need your credit card information. Like, stuff like that. Like, you pay him $5 and he'd say some shit that you wrote. He's a cool dude. He got, like, banned on Fiverr after PewDiePie paid him $5 to say that the Nazis did nothing wrong. And he posted on YouTube, like, the other day a video of him, like, crying and shit because he's in a custody battle and he's about to lose his kids and he said he was involved in, like, a cult, and then, like, his kids are still involved in the cult, and he's trying to get them out of it, but the mom's, like, not, and he couldn't give too much details, but people have done some research, and it seems like that guy Jesus was, like, really tied into Scientology.
Oh, shit.
And that his kids are, like... He's raised a bunch of money, because he was about to completely lose them, because he ran out of money for his, like, thing, and then he opened up a donation or whatever. You could just look up Jesus Christ losing kids or custody battle, something like that, if you want to donate to him. He's a pretty cool dude. I thought about doing it, but I didn't. So
that seems kind of like a way.
This is my shout out to him. Yeah, there you go.
Jesus.
To Jesus. Shout out Jesus. That guy's funny as hell, bro. He's super cool.
That's kind of like that one website. I think it's called like the Save James website, where it's like this kid. He's like misdiagnosed as like gender dysphoria, and his mom is forcing him to be like chemically castrated. And if he reaches the age of 8, they're like allowed to put hormones into him. But when he's with his dad, he's like a completely normal boy. So like, there's a lot of it going on where it's like the mom is forcing him to be transgender. And that's what's like conspirized. And like, if we don't like donate enough money to him or like support him or give enough attention to the case, then like the mom will win custody of the kid and he'll be like chemically castrated.
Wow, that sounds kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But you know, like,
he's 6 right now, so you got like 2 years.
That's good.
Yeah, but now with modern technology, instead of your kid being born one gender and then like the parents forcing that gender on them, now parents have the ability to just pick what gender their kid is. Not even like I just mean like you could just start pumping them with
Well, like,
hormones and
you're
shit
like, "Man,
when they're
I really
6
wanted
years
a
old,
girl."
and for some reason it's legal. Like, how can you do that? I don't understand.
The worst part is the way the human brain works. It's like how you see yourself is how you create other things. So like artists, when you see their portraits, you can see a part of them in their art. So like when people design their own babies, it's just gonna keep on looking more like them and more like them and more like them. And it's gonna get to the point where it's literally reprinting ourselves.
Well, yeah, designer babies is something we can already do now. Like you can pick their eye color and shit
Yeah, but
just by fucking with their DNA a little bit. This one guy in China just recently, it's like banned to test on to change DNA because we don't know what the ramifications of that is. Because if you start fucking with people's DNA, what if you all of a sudden create this dysmorphia and it becomes a not like a what is it called when a dominant gene, and all of a sudden you could fuck the entire human race up. You know, so this guy illegally did a DNA surgery, and he took the two twins that were like inside the womb of this lady and made it to where the babies weren't going to be born with HIV. And apparently it worked. But the entire scientific and medical community was like, fuck you, dude. Like, you can't do that shit. Big no-no.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. You can actually, like, sit there and fuck with the DNA.
It's like knitting.
I wonder if it's possible if, like,
it's like
you can
creating
mess
your
with
own
it so
avatar.
much that, like, if you're...
like when you're in Skyrim.
Or like
Like, if you could
Xbox, that's what
change,
I was
like-
thinking of.
Ooh. Like, what if, like, an Asian couple had a baby and then, like, messed with the DNA and, like, made their baby almost look like an African?
I mean, they could do that if they wanted.
That's
I
like
don't know
some
if it would work.
science
That's actually like a
accurately
thing
enough.
in Japan.
I don't
like,
know.
They had like a big like moment in like Japanese history, like where all like they all wanted to be black, so like they would all like kind of get in like blackface and go out to clubs and shit. It was really weird.
Yeah, and like
No,
stuff
yeah,
like
I remember
Jinx,
that.
Like Mr. Popo, or because of that.
Like, the Japanese girls really liked, like, American black culture, so they would darken their skin, wear, like, big wigs and bright colors, and try to look like Western people. But the cultural difference between the two is just so, like, they didn't really understand. Obviously, if, like, an Asian person in America put that kind of clothes on and went running around outside, like, people would be pissed.
Yeah.
But over there, like, it was just, like, a fashion thing. But it looks weird. Like, just recently, people in Spain did this thing where they all dressed up looking like Mr. Popo. I think they were supposed to look like Mr. Popo. But maybe it was just a meme on Twitter, because I was on the Twitter that I use for other stuff, so I follow some Dragon Ball accounts. Anyways, they were all completely black faces with the big lips and everything. And it was like a news broadcast, and they were like interviewing them. And they were like, no, this has nothing to do with race. It's like, this is all out of respect because, like, we love this character or whatever. And I just thought it was like, I was like, man, this is a bad look. Like, this is just like, this is 2019.
That's like that.
These are all white people in blackface.
I can't think of her name,
it's
but yeah, yeah.
unrealized blackface too. Like
The leading-
if they'd be like, yeah, it's kind of blackface, but it's based upon a character from this anime.
It looked like a minstrel show, but they're people from Spain, and it's like,
Yeah, they
how
don't
big
understand.
is the cultural
Well-
gap between us and people from Spain? That's what I don't.
Well, it's because we're
Europeans
so
differ.
diverse.
Wasn't there like
in
a Fox
America.
co-star who like tried to like advocate for blackface, and how she said like back in the good old days we used to like be able to do that and be fine, no one would care.
No, that's not really what she said. She
No.
was just saying that on Halloween maybe it's an exception.
I mean, like fucking
but that's still nah.
I don't know. It's
Nah.
just kind of like where do
Hugh
you draw the
Jackman.
line?
Hugh Jackman in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
was in blackface the whole movie, and no one ever said anything about it. That movie came out in 2009.
Yeah, that's weird.
I know. I was like, what the hell?
It was just too funny though.
Yeah, cause like he went through like it was like part of the plot too.
Yeah.
So it was like I guess it worked. And he actually like went through like a surgery to get like his skin pigmentation. And then like I don't know, man, that was weird.
My view on blackface is basically this. Blackface can be done in a context where it's not inherently racist. But there are so many like African American people or people of other ethnicities too
I think it's
that
not
don't
even.
that just find it so disrespectful that it's like, okay, we just shouldn't do it. You know,
Yeah.
because you're just gonna piss a lot of people off.
Mhm.
Maybe 50, 60 years down the line, when the racial things are hopefully a lot better, then you could do a form of blackface and not be inherently racist, like if you're doing a costume or something.
feel
But
like that
for
would be,
right
like, a
now, it's just
historical thing.
culturally not a good idea.
I think
it's
eventually,
not respectful.
Actually, like people will do blackface in order to act and stuff because, like, you know, like we're all gonna like become one race eventually if they try to like depict stuff historically correct.
That's
I
like
feel
within,
they would
like,
try.
Maybe we're talking 800 years from now. That's gonna take a long time.
Mhm.
Become
No,
one
it
race.
honestly,
Like, if you think about how much like,
humans have been so
growing,
isolated for so long. That's
And now
why
we're,
our
like,
different
flowing.
ethnicity groups
Yeah,
like
it
are
will
so
exponentially
distinct.
grow.
Eventually, we are kind of amalgamate into like darker-ish, like Persian colored skin.
Mhm.
I feel like the internet is really gonna, like,
Egyptian
fucking
colored
fix that.
kind of skin
Yeah,
is what
just
like
Eastern skin,
we're
'cause
supposed
they
to
have, like-
eventually look like.
Because like in Asia, they have like the most population in the world. So
How
like, that's
big do you
why.
think the internet is gonna get down the future? I think it's like the next.
I don't know. I think the internet is already basically infinitely big.
It's
currently?
like a separate universe from the one we currently live in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like-
digital universe.
Hard to even explain. How,
Well, it's almost like a digital brain. It's like a series of synapses.
but like, think how much of a like big moment it is for like humankind that the internet is a thing. Like we went around to like slapping our nuts with rocks and like cramming twigs down our fucking ears, and now we got the internet.
Like we moved a long way.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was an evolutionary strategy right there, sticking those twigs in our ears. You don't underestimate that shit.
They didn't see
Yeah.
it coming.
Yeah. It's like whenever you run out into battle fully naked.
That's how they used to do it, man.
Mhm.
That's how like the Romans and the Greeks, like you would strap up completely naked and fight like a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I learned something recently on the internet. If you ever go to like the Louvre or the museum or whatever, like a fine art museum, they have those statues, like the statue to David, and they all got small dicks, and it's like, why they got small dicks on the statue? Like this guy's supposed to be like legit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but he's got a small dick. Like that's not legit.
Yeah.
But it was legit. Back in like the Greek and the Roman times when these statues were made, small dicks were big dicks. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They liked the small dicks because the small dicks showed that you weren't like obsessed with lust. If you had a big dick, it meant that like
You always
your
think about your
sexual
dick.
desires like were overpowering your ability to be
can
a
see how they
functioning
think that.
individual.
I feel like
So
they'd
they
be
would
like-
always depict like their like best guys, like they'd make the statues with their dick a little bit smaller. Just like today, if I got a naked
Like,
statue
no,
made,
it's just like how
you'd
they
want
would-
them to make your dick a little bit
Bro,
bigger.
honestly,
No?
it's just like
Yeah.
how like whenever they made a statue, they probably made them a little bit more chiseled too. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta get whoa body.
Yeah, they got like they made them a little bit more swole, made their dick a little bit smaller. You know?
Yeah, just helping out a homie,
Help
making
their
his dick a
flow.
little smaller.
Got their flow right on their hair.
So one of our cameras is dead.
The
It
Oh
looks like-
man, that's what's going
Derek's
on.
gonna try to fix that, but that's cool. The show must go on.
Legendary.
Is this one?
Well, you got
Oh,
any
alright.
you got any good stories from school? Like one that's safe to say.
That's safe for work.
Or but you could talk about what it's like to go to New Caney because you're a Kingwood
That's
boy.
a
and
that's
now
a
you
really
got-
interesting story, y'all. Yeah, if you haven't figured out yet,
It's
I
like,
moved all the way down to New Caney. It's been like a fucking shithole on. I don't want to be like too mean, but like it's a weird place, y'all. The first day I went there, I was sitting alone because it's the new kid situation, right? And I'm just eating lunch at this fucking school, and I look over, and it's this like absolute behemoth of a person. We're talking like elephant size, just practically throw up like chewing tobacco into the trash. Like he was like gorging it out, dude. And so much came out. He had like a whole horseshoe in.
Oh hell
Oh
yeah.
man, it was disgusting.
Hog nut.
And then he just walks off like nothing ever happened.
Sorry, I didn't realize the camera was on me and I was totally like reading the chat. But shout out to the guys in the chat.
Another
They're-
time a teacher misspelled my name. She didn't, or it didn't really. He didn't fucking. Yeah, he spelled it Pussi, so it's spelled fucking pussy.
Aw.
My name's Poochie, by the way. I guess it
Pussy,
can be
by the
pronounced
way.
pussy, but like.
No, but like, fucking
Like
It's
it
just
literally
fucking
spelled fucking pussy, and he
Yeah,
hit big
like,
twice.
It's funny though that he would like go that like because your name is Poochie, so like
Yeah,
even though it looks like pussy, like I don't know.
he did this twice, by the way, on 2 separate occasions.
Was he a sub?
Nah, he was just a regular fucking teacher.
Maybe he thought you were a pussy.
I hated that guy.
Isn't your name actually pronounced pussy though?
I guess you can. Yeah, the C's.
Well, no, it's Poochie, like Poochie. You
It's
know,
kind of
like.
pronounced both ways with the C's because it's like Italian and a little French.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's pussy.
Mm.
Pucci.
Nah, man, like it's like Poochie.
The boy is ready.
He's looking fucking golden.
Check these instructions and put on those seats. Derek's incapable of putting a camera on a tripod.
Oh.
It's true.
Should get like a towel so like to put this on because like the wetness.
Can I feel?
Derek, this battery's dead too.
Oh, it's
What?
like
Terracotta.
Okay.
I thought it was like plastic.
Where's the other battery?
We're on a 2-camera only stream for the rest of the show. Sorry guys. I don't know. I think it's packed away with the stuff for California. That was my bad. But hey, we can use this middle camera. It's no biggie. We're just gonna dress them up real quick.
It's all good.
They can look at the sick anime videos that we have on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This show is called Berserk. Highly recommend if you
It's,
like shows
yeah,
that are
sure.
good.
It's a personal favorite. I
Should we
cannot
be
lie.
showing this anime in the background?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't give a fuck.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Nobody watches our videos. It's
Yeah,
not like
just
we're
like,
gonna get taken down by YouTube.
I mean, and these are on YouTube.
Yeah, it is true.
So like, if they this auto played,
Maybe this isn't the best scene though to recommend to fucking new Berserk fans, cause like,
it's kind of spoilers.
yeah, this is a big spoiler moment.
This is like when the show turns,
Yeah, only 26 episodes in.
like on the last episode.
Mm-hmm. And this is the last episodes of the anime. The manga continues in the actual like story. It's like a comic book form, but like this ends here.
They're all demons. It's like it's pretty chill. It's casual. Like whenever all your homies are just chilling and demons run up on you.
For real.
Okay, I need to put some water in this cup, real quick. We're gonna make our boy look fresh.
Making the magic happen.
I cannot wait to see this unfold.
Give Bob Ross a wave, bro.
give him that wave fade.
Give him a fucking, what's it called? A fucking top cut?
Top notch.
Yeah. To
Dude.
flatten out his head,
Top
dude.
nut. Dude, Bob is the OG. He's the coolest. It doesn't get cooler than Bob Ross. So I think I'm just gonna brush his head with a toothbrush and kind of put the seeds on it, you know?
Is that how it's done?
Yeah,
Is
something
that my
like.
toothbrush?
Nah, this is some shitty toothbrush that I found. And yeah, so yeah, I got the seeds and he's looking fresh. He's got
Derek,
the
that's a
hair.
really
He's
used
got the
toothbrush.
bod.
I think that's my toothbrush.
That's a really used one, Derek.
Oh,
Derek,
maybe it was my other one.
This is not your
before.
toothbrush. Don't worry about it.
I don't know how a human could use a toothbrush like that.
It's like a fucking.
Is it that messed up?
Didn't you have a teacher that you always had like funny stories with,
Miss
like in
Taylor?
elementary school?
Yeah,
Miss
Miss
Harold.
Harold.
Yeah, Miss Harold. What's a good Miss Harold story?
Alright. So one time, we had to go to like the middle school and talk to the band director. You know how like the kids go to the middle school and see what it's like? So we go to Creekwood, right? And my friend, this kid Peyton House, he
Hey.
like,
Are you sure you should be disclosing names?
oh, nah. End of the story.
No, that
Keep
wasn't
going?
Peyton House.
Should
You keep going, but
Alright, that wasn't
Peyton
him,
House.
y'all.
That wasn't him.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
use
my bad.
first names.
Yeah, my bad.
His
Shout out
name
to
is
that guy.
DeAndre.
Well, I mean, you already said it was Peyton, so you might as well
Alright,
just
go with it. Fuck.
Alright, it's not bad or anything. Like, he
Okay.
doesn't. Alright. So when he goes up to like talk to the band director, he asks like a question. He looks serious, right? And the band director goes, he like leans in and he wants to know what Peyton House wants to ask. And he asks the fucking band director, is mayonnaise an instrument? And the whole grade just erupted in laughter.
That's honestly pretty good, but pretty.
Oh man.
Oh, I bet that pissed off the band director.
I think he had to apologize to like Mr. Winnicky or some shit.
Oh yeah, because y'all were just visiting the middle school from.
yeah, so it
elementary-
was like a huge deal too. He had to take out like an entire day to talk to us. And that's what he asked.
That's
Is
funny.
mayonnaise an instrument?
Is mayonnaise considered an instrument, sir?
That's honestly some shit that I would do in middle school too. Like I fucked around like too much in middle school. In high school, I chilled out a bit.
I don't really act like anything in high school. It's pretty like.
Oh wait, no, you were talking about elementary school.
Yeah.
Elementary school was awesome. Elementary school was so
you
cool.
could do like whatever you want in elementary school, like whatever you conceived, because like your mind was so like innocent, you know. It was just like endless possibilities.
Yeah. Oh man, me and Derek did some whack shit at like elementary.
One time, a chick kicked me in the dick so hard in elementary school that it like cut me on my dick.
That's
It's
hot.
pretty bad, bro.
Damn, dude,
Like-
that's horrible.
That was pretty bad. It wasn't like super bad. Like it wasn't like really bad, but I was like, man, this chick just kicked me in the dick like really fucking hard.
Dude,
You know
one
how
time-
like Bear Branch was close to that wooded area, and everyone would always like fight with sticks. One time when I was like 6,
I don't know why we used to always fight with sticks so much.
it was just something to do. It's like what kids do.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like
it's 'cause-
6, and I was like, I gotta get the biggest, baddest stick. So I grabbed this humongous stick for like a 6-year-old, right? Like it's like twice my length, and I'm like hauling it around and swinging it around and shit, right? And I swing it around, and I'm kind of in the open, and I hear a thunk, and I turn around, and it's this lady's 3-year-old, and I just whacked him with a stick.
What the fuck?
I don't know, dude. I wasn't looking behind me, and I like turned and I whacked him with a stick. I was like, oh my god. And this lady started screaming at me.
See, like whenever I role played like that, bro, I was more like Guts, because I would always carry around like a big metal fence post with me, and I'd be like 5 years old with the giant fucking thing, whomping on people. They couldn't handle it.
Whenever I was in elementary school, me and Scotty, R.I.P. my boy, we would get on the seesaw. That's what it's called. We get on the fucking seesaw, and he would jump off the middle post and land on one side while I was standing on the other to like launch me up in the air, and I would do like a flip off and shit. It would actually get me pretty high. And one time I got like 7 feet up in the air, and I like leaned forward, and I just hit face first onto like the wooden trim of the seesaw. Broke my nose. It's pretty
Damn.
gnarly. One time I got stung by a wasp. Whenever, like, it was like right after school. Like I walked across the street to the park. I got stung by a wasp. It fucking hurt like a bitch.
That's like actually a
And
funny story.
I was like 4 years.
Hang on.
I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, and I was like, "Fuck this shit, bro!" I was freaking out. I just got stung by some like demon. And my arm was like swelling up. So I went back to school and I went to the nurse's office, and the bitch started bitching at me. She was like, "School's over. You can't go to the nurse." And I'm like, "Give me a Band-Aid, you bitch!" Like what?
Bro,
I
that,
was
Oh,
so
dude, I hate
pissed.
it.
that reminds
Oh,
me of the
fucking
fucking time
hell, I
I
hated the
broke my
nurse.
arm right outside Creekwood on my longboard, like when I was in middle school. Like I was on the like basketball court, like carving, and like I fell, and like I was like getting really close to the fence, trying to see like how close I could get before I could like carve away, and like I got about as close as I could, and then I was like, I should probably try to carve, but then I didn't, and I just went straight into the fence, fell, broke my arm. Like tried to stand up and crawl my way to like the door to like tell someone, and then like I finally got someone to come like to the door, and I was like, "Can y'all give me a paper towel?" Like I was like bleeding all over the place, and they were like, "No." I was like,
They just said, "Who was it?"
I don't know. It was just some teacher that I'd never seen before. I was like, "What the fuck?"
And
This-
she wouldn't help you?
She wouldn't help me. I was like,
What the
"What?"
fuck? God damn. All right,
I was
one
like,
time.
now I gotta call my mom and tell her I just broke my arm because
When
you
I
won't
was
help me.
What the fuck? That's like.
Alright.
What?
All right, so when I was in the 2nd grade, it was on a field trip. We were going to like Jesse Jones Park, and we were sitting down and eating lunches, and like a bee came up, and like by the way, I'm like very allergic to bees. Like came up, flew on my face, and like stung me in the eye, dude. And I was just a fucking 2nd grader and started freaking out, and I had to go to the hospital like at the very beginning of the field trip. Like we just got there and ate lunch.
It's pretty good. One time I was on a field trip. I think we were going to the zoo, and I was with Dalton Jeffrey. Me and him were on the bus, and you do that thing where you jump when the bus is about to hit, like you feel the front of the bus hit like a pothole, so then you jump at the right time in the back of the bus and it'll launch you up.
Yeah.
I did it so hard on this one that I did that thing that you see in that like meme video of the chick. I flew up, hit the roof, and fell back down onto the fucking seat. I went boom, and I hit my head like really hard on the roof of the school bus because me and Dalton were just trying to like launch up as high as we could.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
That reminds me of a story my grandpa told me about how like his like bus driver was an asshole, and this was like back in the 60s or some shit, and like he was just like trying to get off the bus like at his stop, and the fucking bus driver just like he like stood up right before like he was about to stop, and the bus driver slammed on the brakes, and he was in the front seat. He like flew into the fucking windshield of the bus and like broke it.
What the fuck?
And the bus, he was like, the bus driver was always nice for me from that point. That fucking asshole.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's good.
The other day I found out that my granddad couldn't hear out of his left ear for like all of his life because when he was like 10, his friend blew his like ear out with a fucking firecracker. So like the entire time I knew him, he could never hear out of his left ear. I never knew.
Dude, one time
Sucks.
Tanner, who we had on the podcast last time, he ran up next to me in like middle school with a party popper. You know you can use that camera too, right, Derek?
Yeah.
Okay. He ran up to me with a party popper and put it to my ear and pulled it. And like my ear, like I can't believe I didn't bust my eardrum. I really thought I was going to. It fucking hurt. Like my ear was ringing for like the whole day. I was bitching at him. I had like a little bitch fit.
Well,
I would too, dude. Fuck that.
one time when I was a little kid, I was hanging out with like these older kids, and fucking we were getting PVC pipes. It was 4th of July. We were getting PVC pipes and putting firecrackers in them, and like either blowing them out like after we light them, or like flinging them like that at each other. And fucking I put one up to my face to blow it out, and it blew up like right here whenever I went to like do it. And like I don't know, I felt like my eye was gonna explode. It hurt so bad. Like there was like firecracker bits in my eye and shit. Ooh, it's like one of those charcoal rubs, but like.
Have you ever
Midnight
drank that
version.
kombucha shit?
No.
So gross. Never drink that. Never drink that shit. If
It's
you
like-
drink that shit, we're not friends anymore, right?
The seeds that absorb the water. So
What is
that you
kombucha?
I
get-
ha- it's like fermented tea with chia seeds in it, and I accidentally left one in my car, and it like exploded,
God.
and it turned into like a slime. Anyways, talking about fireworks, I got a beach house that we go to all the time, and we can all like pop fireworks and have like bonfires and shit on there. And one time one time I had a bottle rocket, and I threw it like
I
a
remember this.
tomahawk. And I threw it went out like 15 25 feet out, probably like 11 no probably like 15 feet in the air.
I remember this
And then
too.
were you there?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
I was
went-
there too.
Yeah, okay, y'all
I
were
was
both
also
there.
Yeah.
We were all there. Anyway, and it flew back and stuck me right in the chest.
Yeah, it was like perfect.
And it blew up.
I loved so hard. I was like, what the fuck? It was like instant karma.
Literally, as soon as I threw it, and it came right back at me, like pinpoint middle of my chest. It was like God was looking at me. It was like, "You gonna do dumb shit? You gonna face the consequences?" And
Oh,
then
man.
just like redirected it.
It's like how the villain
Right
dies
into
in
my
Kung Fu
chest.
Panda too. His
Kung Fu
own
Panda 2
doing.
reference.
Yeah.
And then Daniel was there one time, and he was trying to light this artillery shell and throw it at his aunt to like fuck with her, cause she's like scared of fireworks. And the artillery shell like lit like early or something like that. It did
Like
you know
when
how it goes poof, and it like
Mhm.
shoots up in the sky? It did that, but like in his hand. So Daniel's whole hand got like burnt,
Ooh.
like really bad.
Ooh.
Damn.
It just went poof, and then he was like, "Oh!" and he threw it, and as soon as he threw it, it just exploded.
Holy
Yikes.
shit.
That's why you don't pick those up and throw them.
I would put the fucking tubes on my chest and shoot it like, or like on my shoulder, like on Blastoise from Pokemon.
Oh. That's epic.
Naomi, like my sister, like 3 or 4 times, almost every time she uses fireworks, she'll put the artillery shells in upside down and then just blow up the tube and like right next to everybody.
It's like an
That's so
explosive.
fucking dumb.
It'll go, and it'll just push itself further in, and then it'll just blow up.
Boom. It's like
That's
a grenade.
so fucking dumb.
or like a flashbang.
I remember that one time you put that bottle rocket and almost hit me, but I like 360'd out of the way or something. I forgot.
I remember one time you and Colby, I got y'all to have a Roman candle war. Where y'all shot Roman candles at each other, and one of them got stuck in your jacket and like burned a hole in it.
Yeah, it ruined that jacket.
Dude, we need to bring Colby on.
Me and Joey Wheat had a coal fight where these people left like a giant bonfire, and it just turned into coals, and they had shovels next to it. So me and Joey were just scooping up the hot coals with the shovels and throwing them at each other.
Holy shit.
That sounds pretty.
That was the same night that Derek got the Roman candle like stuck in his jacket, and it was like burning a hole on him.
Dude, you're doing some dumbass shit.
No, dude, we would do some dumbass shit. It was bad.
It was fun.
Daniel shot like Roman candles at me outside. Like I was like jumping around like I was a deer, you know. Well, I wasn't really. I was deer. I wasn't actually
Furry
jumping
alert.
around like a fucking deer. All right.
Furry alert.
He did not turn into a deer.
I did not turn into
He
a
was
deer.
a human the whole time. He was just acting like one.
I was such a good deer though that you could have been mistaken. And Daniel was hunting. He was like sniping me, and a couple of them hit and they weren't that bad. But one of them went right next to my head, and these are like those Roman candle shits are sketchy. You don't really know what's gonna happen. Sometimes they shoot out like they got like an erectile dysfunction, and it's like, you know. And then sometimes they shoot out like a fucking like gun. It feels like you're shooting like a 410.
Yeah.
And one of those just right past me, and there was a tree behind me, and it went, and it knocked like a big chunk of bark off the tree. And I was like, oh my god, if that would have fucking hit me in the head, I don't know what would have happened. That was bad.
Internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, that type of
Fucking-
stuff.
Concussion.
It would have. It would have. It was
dead.
like it would have been like if I got hit by a paintball that was on fire.
That exploded.
No, they didn't explode. They were just like hot fireballs.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're good then.
But it knocked the bark off that tree. It went. No, it was like what?
There's probably a dead tree. You're good.
No, that tree's still alive. It's one in my backyard.
I didn't really play with a whole lot of fireworks like as a little kid.
I'm not gonna blame my parents, but I got cool parents, all right?
I don't know. I would just I just walk around the woods with like a BB gun. That was like my childhood.
I just like rode everywhere on a bike. Like I got so good, dude. I go on long distances on bikes. It's insane. Like I'd have to go like 12 miles a day.
Like a
sometimes.
12-year-old cyclist.
Yeah.
Like you see some cyclist dude in like a full jumpsuit and a helmet, and you'd like pass him.
What's one of the craziest things that happened on like one of your bike adventures?
On one time I almost hit a fucking deer.
On your bike?
Yeah, dude, in the middle
Are
of
you like
Kingsmore.
Kintaro going like 40 miles per hour?
I almost hit a deer on my
The
bike.
deer was
bro.
coming out of the woods, and I was going towards it. And a car was coming at the same distance, and the deer almost hits the car, so it stops. And right as it stops, I'm going super fast. So I have to hit the brakes real fast, and I like fucking drift right next to this deer. And it just keeps jumping, dude. It was insane.
That sounds
a
like some
scene out of an
Pokemon
anime.
Go shit, dude.
For real, dude. I was so blown away.
Have we
It
told
was like
our,
a huge ass deer, too, dude.
have we told our mountain biking story?
I think we did like already like once in like the 6th episode, something like that.
Okay. Summarize the story. Colton and I switched bikes while we were about to bomb this like super gnarly hill, and he
Super
didn't tell
gnarly.
me that they didn't have brakes, and he rode the brakes all the way down and was going like 35 miles per hour. So I went without brakes, going like 60 miles per hour, and then flew off into like this burnt forest and like flew off this like it was fucking bad. I
The
ate
hill
shit.
was like this angle, and there was like erosion all throughout it, so you had to like dodge all the roots and like.
Yeah, there were
shit.
like big chunks of the hill, like of the
missing.
runway missing that you had to dodge with your little fucking mountain bike
Holy
tires.
shit.
And like so I'm at the top of the hill. I guess I'll just tell the story. And Colton and I switch bikes. He goes down. He's going fast as fuck. I start to go down. Well, I mean, he finishes. I start to go down. I go, how much did you ride the brakes? And he's like, all the way down. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you're going fast. And I start going. He goes, oh, yeah, there's no brakes on that bike. And I don't understand how I dodged all the fucking rocks and shit to begin with. Somehow I made it to the bottom, and you're supposed to turn like left or right. Not a fucking option. Wasn't going to happen. I shot straight into the woods. between like all these trees. If I hit one of these trees, we didn't have fucking helmets on. I would have died. Like,
Holy shit.
No, and it was all like a controlled burn area, so like it was all like ash and shit. Cause like there was like a forest fire there recently.
and there was a
Goddamn.
log. It was like it was placed there by God, bro. It had grass and dirt.
It was like a
made a
ramp.
ramp, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a ramp made by people. It just made a ramp.
It was like a natural ramp. It was, I don't know, it saved
Dude,
his
what are
life.
the chances?
And I hit the ramp on the bike and I turned sideways like I'm tabletopped. Colton can vouch for it. I flew like 6 or 8 feet
Yeah, I was gonna say about 8
sideways.
feet.
and then it hit the ground and all this like burnt pine needles and next to all these trees and shit and just slid another like 4 or 5 feet.
It was pretty epic.
And I somehow like I got scratched up and it hurt, but I didn't bust my head in.
It was like a Juke Squad video or something.
Dude, if that would have gone viral if it was on camera. That shit was crazy. I felt like I've had a lot of near-death experiences. I feel like I should have died a few times.
That's pretty insane.
It's the middle camera you got to turn off and on.
I know. I was just checking which one on the preview.
I don't
You
know.
ever had a near-death experience other than like getting
by a
that
car?
car?
All of mine are
When
like
you-
kind of like medical. Like when I was 4, I had to get like kidney surgery, and now my left kidney works at like 25%.
So do you not drink like Dr. Peppers and shit?
You just gotta
No, you only
train it,
need
bro.
one kidney to like.
Oh yeah, you're good. Dude.
Yeah, but it's like at any time it could blow out. So
Yeah, if you're a good one, stop.
You should
working.
ask you
Yeah.
should ask the doctors if they can put in a third kidney, so then you could actually be 25% better than everyone else.
Yeah. You could just ask for like one shitty kidney just in case.
Why don't doctors give you 2 hearts to lessen the load on one heart?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
They
you
just-
got space for it.
Nah, dude. Like they just want us
You
all
know,
to be
what's-
heartbroken.
What's behind here? You got your heart and you got your lung on this side. You can just
Isn't
put a
that like-
second heart right there, bro.
isn't that the plot to like fucking the Nut Shack?
What? The Nut Shack?
Yeah. No, I remember it. It's a fucking.
It's
Derek
a
would know.
Bob Saget has 3
Yeah.
hearts, so he can have a boner for 3 hours. So that was
Yeah.
the concept.
It's like the final episode.
No, dude, he's like the guy from Naruto that has like 6 hearts.
Yeah, that chick who has like multiple bodies. In that filler episode with the fucking.
That's a dude. But...
No, it's like a filler episode.
Oh,
where-
filler. I thought you were talking about the,
Are you talking
the
about the one
sound
where
ninja.
like the first like right before Pain, whenever they like Edo Tensei, like all those guys?
Nah, it's the fucking Asuma arc. Like right before he dies. he's-
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the
the
same one.
filler.
Like all those guys come back and like they.
There's like
bring,
a
some
chick who
Edo
can do like
Tensei
different
guys.
kinds of nature,
Yeah.
and the way she does is because she has 3 different bodies and she switches bodies.
All of this weeb shit's just going over everyone's head.
Yeah.
Except for shout out to that one guy that understood what we were talking about.
Yeah, the guys from Tekken. They'll know.
Yeah.
There's gotta be one.
Bob Ross is looking good. His hair kind of dried, so now he's covered in seeds. And
It's
eventually
like he's got lice.
he's gonna have a nice little fro going. I should have done a perm instead of coloring my hair blonde again.
Yeah, like Jonesy in that episode 16.
I love
That's not an
16.
anime, so
That-
people should understand.
Yeah, 16 is the best cartoon ever. Mason loves cartoons. We can talk about what do you like? You like regular show a lot.
Yeah, that's like probably my top favorite. I also like Beavis and Butthead and a lot of like that sketchy style. I really just like cartoonists in general. They're
Don't you
pretty
want to
good
make a
people.
cartoon, like be an animator or something?
I'm thinking about it pretty heavy, honestly. Going to like some sort of graphic design school and becoming like an animator. That's like end game.
I'll let you know ahead of time. Animation work is the fucking worst ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it is, but it isn't. Like you get to take breaks into season to like write your show, and that's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. And then like all the animation, if you're the showrunner, you don't really have to do a whole lot of that. You can just hire like in between cell artists to do all that. And also, it's just kind of like an easy job compared to other shit.
I mean, how old was the guy when he started regular show? Like 27?
He was like, nah, he's still 20. He's like 27 now. He was like 20. He might be in his 30s now. I don't really know. JG Quintel's the guy who does it. But I know he was like 20 something when he started regular show. And now his net worth is like 5 million. So like,
That's good. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like, I like to think that like he lived a little bit of Mordecai and Rigby's life.
I kind of slightly regret not naming our show the Teen Titans, because like then we'd have a squad that you can be proud of with values.
But bro, we're part of the X-Men.
Yeah, we are part of the X-Men.
oh man,
We went to this bar, fucking pool house the other day with our friends, and this cop who was like sitting down and he was bald, ID'd us, and he put like X's on our hands. And I look over to Colton, like, while he's doing it. And I'm like, now we're, like, superheroes. And Colton was like, yeah, we're members of the X-Men.
Oh, man.
As we were leaving, I was about to be like, thanks, Professor X, for giving us a shot.
Because he was bald. He was, like, Professor X from the X-Men.
Austin, you literally look like Iceman right now, dude. Like, that's the complete
Dude, it's
look.
Bobby.
Iceman? Who's
Yeah.
that?
What's his name? Bobby.
Drake.
Bobby
Yeah.
Shmurda.
Yeah.
Bobby Shmurda?
Bobby Shmurda, bro.
Alright, dude,
man.
not R.I.P. Bobby Shmurda. Free Bobby Shmurda. I don't even really remember what he did. I think
He
it
had
was
like
a
a gun in
robbery.
his car.
or
and
some shit.
His car got searched.
Let him out. Free TK2. I know they killed those people, but they make good music, so free them. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, if you're like a good like artist, like I think you should just like be able to escape the boundaries of the law, you know? Like that's how Wiz Khalifa's been smoking weed in his music videos for years. I was always wondering how people like would smoke weed in their music videos and have it still be legal. But like
No, there was a concert. I don't remember who it was. It was one rapper that was actually pretty big, and he was supposed to come here to Houston. And the cops arrested him from his limousine at the concert when he showed up for weed. And he wasn't able to perform.
sucks.
Oh, man.
I don't remember who it was.
Oh,
It was someone pretty big. It
I
was like
think
Lil Wayne or something. It was
No,
like,
it was that one guy that like does all the like auto tuning.
it was T-Pain?
T-Pain.
I think it was T-Pain.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
it was like a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was. It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when we went to the Marilyn Manson concert, and like halfway
That was
through his
dope.
show, he like overdosed on stage.
No, I actually figured out what it
That
was.
was an art piece.
What was it?
This guy like doesn't go outside, and he's wearing like all black, and he's
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, and it's hot as hell. So he got heat stroke. That's what was wrong with him.
Oh man,
Well, that's what they said. It was probably cocaine, but
there's no way he was sober.
he did like 3 songs. He's all leaning on the podium. He's like, "Bah!"
Yeah, literally screaming at that point. And it was during one of his biggest songs. It's his like fucking cover of Sweet Dreams. It's like one of his most famous songs, and he just passes out halfway through it, and they gotta get him off stage.
That's rock and roll for you, man.
Yeah, dude. Rob Zombie came out though afterwards and saved the show.
Was he
Yeah.
like all like? Did he like show y'all like how like his Halloween movie? Was it like this is
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
movie,
he did
guys?
show an intro.
It wasn't Halloween though. He was showing a new movie that he's
Oh.
making. They played like they showed the trailer for it. They like announced it at the concert.
Yeah, dude, and they played fucking anime titties during the concert too.
yeah, bro.
There was
anime
Big
titties.
anime titties.
Were you like, oh, boobies?
Yeah,
No, I
everyone
got a
was.
fucking video of it. Let me see. I got Mason's reaction.
Yeah.
They like, you know how you go to a concert and they'll put like videos on the screen to go along with the music.
Kind of like this.
It was
I guess.
yeah, kind of like this. Imagine this, but it was heavy metal music playing and a bunch of chicks on all the screens where like their clothes were exploding off of them.
That's metal as fuck.
And it was like an anime too.
That's fucking
That was
I'm
a
gonna see if I
highlight.
can find it real quick.
highlight of your life.
It was fucking hella, dude. It was so intense. And then I went into a mosh pit too.
Did you
I
fight
like-
anyone?
Yeah, fucking human bumper carting people, dude.
Dude, I checked this big. Like, I didn't really know the mosh pit thing too well, and there was this big ass guy, and I pushed him like really hard. Like
Like,
I
were you
didn't think
just-
he would stumble that much. Like I didn't push him like that hard, but like, he came back and pushed me pretty hard too.
Were you like, dude? I wonder if like anyone's ever just been chilling in a mosh pit and then like they start getting like pushed around and they're like, what the fuck?
That's literally how it is, dude. It just forms out of nowhere.
No, Mason ripped his shirt off, and I was like, "Get in there, Mason."
Yeah, like run in, dude, and you get so sweaty. It's so gross.
Mason ripped his shirt off, started like pushing people,
Yeah.
going all
Bro, it's
crazy.
because you're like a Spartan training
Mhm.
with all like your young Spartan friends.
It is. It's fucking insane.
And Papa, aka fucking Rob Zombie or fucking Marilyn Manson, was fucking chilling on the stage watching.
It's like sumo training.
Mm-hmm.
I found the video. I need to get off my Wi-Fi real quick.
You play it on the TV.
No.
Make sure it doesn't have any boobies in it. That kid.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Put it
Wow.
closer to the camera.
Wait, this camera?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go back.
Here, just do a reenaction.
Oh,
for
here we
that
go.
camera.
Here we go. This is it. Can you see that, Derek?
It's like really
Small.
exposed and small.
Well, there you go. That was it.
Go to the middle camera.
No, it's fine. Don't worry
No,
about it.
no. Okay,
They'll
now,
just never know.
now Mason, just go. Ha! Wow.
Ha! Wow.
And then there
But
were
that was
anime boobs on the screen. That's basically what the video was that you.
Yeah,
you were
but
trying
it's like
to
the
see.
heat of the moment.
It was the heat of the moment.
Oh,
2018 was a pretty big year for me.
why you say that?
I got a haircut. I
Oh.
like went to church again.
You got a haircut for
I like
your
stopped
year.
masturbating.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things I did this year.
Yeah, Mason
I got
has been on the
ungrounded.
NoFap for over a year.
No, almost a year.
Okay, almost a year.
It's like March 28th.
Yeah,
is
we
an
were in
entire
March.
Year.
We were chilling in this room,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, Mason, I challenge you, 40-day NoFap. Like as a-
400.
400-day NoFap as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said, challenge accepted. And then hasn't jacked off since March.
I like
Beautiful.
promised all of my friends that I wouldn't do it, and I still haven't done it yet.
He's become way more powerful.
He's become a more enlightened being.
I've been
Like
carrying
the
the
amount
torch,
of
man.
self-control and will that takes is honestly, I look up to you, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
I challenged you to a 400-day NoFap as a meme, and you did it.
I had to rise, dude.
400 days of meme.
But like also, I was really burnt out on like porn.
Mm-hmm.
Like during the time, I was just like grounded for like 9 months, 10 months. So it was just like throughout the entire time, it was one bad porn binge.
Mm.
God, man. It's just one bad porn
the
video.
way you just said that, it was perfect.
Now I'm back, though, boys.
No, you're not. Not yet. You're still not.
Are you ever gonna jack off again, or do you think you're done for good? Do you
Like,
think
he
you found
said-
the enlightened
He
path?
said earlier.
I don't really think about jerking off again, just kind of like period. Like I'm not gonna jerk off today, and I'm not gonna jerk off tomorrow, and it's just kind of like a one day at a time type thing. Like you don't really think about the future when it comes to jerking off.
Wise words from Mason Bucci, bro.
Like it's just out
You
of the
don't
way.
think about the future when it comes to jacking off. It's all about the here and now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, proud of you. Proud of you. Big strides. Now you turned into a full-blown Chad. You started working out.
Mm-hmm.
You lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You,
I've been getting real.
is it
fucking
true
cut.
that the girls immediately started like falling in love with you because like you don't jack off anymore? And they can just sense the energy. That's what I've heard on the internet about the NoFap.
I don't really. I think that is like. I mean, it might have some truth to it, but like, I don't really think it's like as extreme as people say it is online. Like I've seen the online videos for NoFap. Like a lot of them are just kind of like it's made out to be this fucking superpower, but it's really just like
The way I see it,
it's really just like a lifestyle.
the
It's
way
not a
I
big
see
deal.
it, it's like a way for incels to make themselves feel more powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
Like that's my mind.
Like Colton and I were talking about it today. Like you see like really ugly guys, you know, and I know I'm not ugly. I was born pretty lucky that I'm not like a super ugly like fucking looking person, you know.
Yeah.
And then you see ugly dudes and they're with some chicks that aren't very good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, at what, like, I wonder, like, I bet you a lot of people that are kind of bad looking that can't get hot people would just rather be celibate than just get with, like, an ugly chick.
Oh man, that's a good point.
And I bet, like, a lot of those guys resort to just, like, prostitutes and then later on, like, those sex robot things.
Dolls. Real
Yeah.
dolls.
Or they become porn stars. Guy porn stars are really ugly. Now that you like really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never do that.
Yeah.
I'd never be a porn star.
Yeah.
They get paid a lot of money.
Not guy porn stars.
Only
Gay
porn
porn
stars
stars make the most money though.
Yeah.
Johnny Sins' like net worth is like 25 million.
That is true, dude. He's like
He's worth
coming
more
up
than the
there.
guy who made Regular Show.
You know a guy porn star's name by name,
Johnny
Mason?
Sins-
He's like a
Hold
huge
up.
meme.
Johnny Sins is like a meme. He's like that bald guy that was like, it's like he was a doctor, then an astronaut.
Yeah,
then
he's
a
like
pilot.
Mia Khalifa. Like you
Yeah.
just know him.
Mia Khalifa is trying to like. She's like a YouTuber and like a live streamer now.
She's still a porn star?
No,
She retired.
Really?
she actually wishes that she never did porn. I'm pretty
Huh.
sure
Oh man.
she like regrets it.
Yeah, I mean it's a good way to get.
Well,
your foot
she
in the
was
door.
like, dude, if you remember, like back in the day when me and Khalifa started popping off, it was all because she like wore a hijab,
Yeah,
Yeah.
during a fucking.
and like she was getting death threats from ISIS and
Mhm.
other extremists from the Middle East saying that they were gonna come and decapitate her because she was being blasphemous to their religion. She was raised Catholic. She's not actually.
Like
Islamic.
honestly though, I feel like if I was a Muslim, I would want to watch a video of like a girl in a hijab because like it would give me like that fantasy that like she's like my girl, you know?
If I were a Muslim, I'd want to watch videos of ankle pics.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I think we need to take it back a little bit. Talking about ankle, that's too much, bro.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm not
that's-
here to objectify women.
You're right. You're right.
You know why the ankle's so important?
Because it's the only part that can show.
It's the center of your being,
Oh.
the lowest center of gravity
It's the root.
in which your body grows.
Oh, that is true.
That's why
Wise
people with
words.
that's why people have cankles because their bodies are so big that they need more ankle.
Yeah, I forgot it. Cankles are weird.
Yeah. It's like a thing you forget about.
No, yeah, but you look at someone with cankles and it's just their ankle, but it does make them much less attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what cankles look like. I can't imagine it.
Thick.
I don't.
I watched some like incel like post or whatever on YouTube. Not on YouTube. It was on Twitter or something like that. And it was like, the only thing separating a Chad from an incel is 20 millimeters of bone. And it like the incel. It was like one guy who had like a Chad face, with like a chiseled jawline and a nice nose or
And, like,
whatever.
the Chad hair.
And then it had like another. It was like a Photoshop picture of the same dude, but his chin. He had like a really weak chin, and like his nose like stuck out a bit more, and it just you could tell it was like a hot guy and then a not hot guy, all because they just did a little change to the nose and chin.
Bro.
I'm like, y'all guys are just fucking insecure and need to have some
Bro,
confidence.
I was thinking about like my chin kind of looks like a butt, right? But like I thought about it this way. My chin is just so strong it has muscles.
Wow,
Yeah.
you got to be
Ooh.
like the Crimson
2
Chin.
years from now, I'm gonna get like jaw surgery to like move my chin outward more because of the braces.
Mm.
I'm gonna get jaw surgery to give myself the Crimson Chin from Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
Dude, the ladies would go mad after one.
Bro.
Or like the Quagmire chin.
Oh.
Oh, dude.
Giving a
Dude,
girl a chin
Quagmire-
job.
What?
Give a girl a chin job.
Oh God.
If you got a fucking Captain Chin or whatever, dude.
Crimson Chin.
Crimson Chin.
Crimson Chin.
What was Timmy's name?
The Bucktooth Boy or something like that.
Cleft.
Yeah, it was cleft.
Yeah, cause like he'd like cleft chin or something.
And he'd fight the bronze kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the bronze kneecap, bro.
Yeah.
Craziest anime villain of all time. Bronze kneecap, hands down.
Hands down.
Or like, what about fucking Count Spankula from like Kids Next Door? He just swarmed in and just fucking spanked random kids.
Kids Next Door is so good, bro. Who was the toilet paper guy from Kids Next Door?
The plunger or some shit.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude.
Yeah,
that guy
I can't
was so-
remember.
No, the plunger.
Captain Sticky Beard.
I
Yeah,
liked
dude.
whenever number 2 would do like his like secret agent shit.
Number 1.
No, I
Number
mean
2.
number 2's little brother actually.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
Number 0.
No, number 0 was
that's
Nigel
right,
and his
yeah.
dad.
He's like number T.
Oh, I really liked number 4.
Number 4, man.
Reese Wiig.
Yeah.
Joey Wheeler.
Joey Wheeler.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody messing with Joey Wheeler.
I mean Joey Wheeler's like got like some weird New York accent.
The Bronx.
The
The Bronx.
Like that. But then number 4, he got that Australian accent.
Yeah.
Number 4 is literally Reese in an orange hoodie. Like if Reese put on that PlayStation hoodie you have on right now, that's number 4.
Yeah.
If I like shave my head bald, I could be number 1.
Mm.
And you could go for a good like number 3 or number 5.
Number
Number
3's
4.
a chick.
Number 4.
Number 3 and number 5 are chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good observation.
Number 5 was cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Kids Next Door.
She didn't take no shit, dude. She was like,
You know how that show got canceled?
How?
they had to like end it a little bit early. The guy didn't want to like, he wanted to do more, but like when he pitched the idea to Cartoon Network, they were doing this thing called like See Unreal at the time.
Oh, the live action.
Yeah, where it
Cartoon
was
Network
only
shit.
live action like shows, so they wouldn't accept it. And
Dude.
he, like still hasn't picked up steam yet. But the project he wants to do is called like Kids Next Door Galactic or something like that. There's like a website for it too.
Oh
that he
yeah,
made.
I've seen it.
If we get famous, and one day in the future you see this, fuck you to the guy that made Cartoon Network live action for like a
dude.
year.
You didn't like fucking Destroy Build Destroy?
Okay, Destroy Build Destroy was lit. All right.
Yeah.
Andrew WK, bro.
Hole in a wall.
Okay, Hole in the Wall was kind of dope too.
I like. Dude,
I
it was
hated
so
that.
funny because they'd be like, oh, "It's a hole in the wall," and then there'd be like some fat person, and then like there'd be a comically large, like or small hole, like for a normal sized person.
Yeah, they would cut out holes
Yeah.
that the fat people could not fit through at all. Like even if they did it absolutely perfectly, like it would be like made for like a little kid.
It's like they were set up to fail. Like they were like I don't understand.
Oh man, like fucking natural selection.
Bro, and I don't understand how people could lose that show. Like, I feel like if I played Hole in the Wall, like, I played it on, like, the Wii Fit. And,
yeah.
like, I tore that shit up. Like, why
Honestly,
couldn't they do
dude.
it? Doesn't make sense.
Someone in the chat was talking about when you get too fat and you can't see your dick no more. That would be kind of
That's
sad.
a sad day. I
know,
can't
it's
remember the
called
last time
same
I saw
thing.
mine.
It's called a fupa.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I thought the fupa was just, like,
I thought that's whenever like
area.
the area right above your genitals gets really fat.
No,
Nah,
I
Peter
poop
Griffin,
is just
dude.
like your gut, bro. If you got like a little chub gut.
some poop, yeah.
Some
but,
poop.
like Peter Griffin is the level that you have to be at before you can't see your penis.
Yeah.
That's like my 600-pound life.
Hey, the middle
400
camera's
pounds.
down.
Like, 300 pounds.
We're gonna have to wrap this up, boys.
Good.
Our
Alright.
cameras are all dying.
Oh man.
Okay.
We've been live for over an hour.
How long has it been?
We got a little bit. We'll just go until that camera dies. But as you can see, its life is blinking away.
This is the last journey, boys. Last
Slowly-
trade home.
Slowly but surely.
We're gonna have more videos coming up with Mason in the future.
I'll be returning.
We had a. Derek, is the first episode of the anime still on there on OBS? Is it in the scenes?
Scenes?
Any of those say like anime? Episode
No.
1? No. Okay. We had like a series we were going to do, and we made like a pilot like teaser episode for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like a theme song and then like half a clip of the episode. And,
yeah.
like, we had all this stuff planned out for like all these special effects, and we had this whole story written. We just kind of lost steam for the project once we started.
It's just because we just been busy doing
Well,
other stuff.
honestly, it's like we couldn't really do anything with that like eventually because like it's
It was
kinda
really
like,
more like a tech demo.
It's like kind of how like Filthy Frank and stuff. Like it was like a Filthy Frank type thing, and like we couldn't grow necessarily like from the beginning.
I think it showed like a lot of potential though. And
It's really
honestly,
funny. We'll show it eventually.
We'll eventually get there. That's like
No, and
Endgame.
then like that's like okay, so you know like when they come out with the manga, how they have like the first chapter, right? It's like the
Yeah.
pilot chapter.
yeah, like the
Romance Dawn.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
like
episode
Romance
1.
Dawn. There's one for Berserk where it's like completely different.
Yeah, I know you're talking. There's
Like-
one for Yu-Gi-Oh! Too where it's way darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like it's basically like that.
Yeah.
But like we're gonna probably do another one eventually.
So there are going to be videos that aren't just the podcast.
Yeah.
that we're working
Big
on.
plans.
I'm also going to LA and shit, so scheduling might be a little random.
Mm.
But hopefully it'll all work out.
I'll probably be on more during the summertime too, because I'll be more available.
Mm.
That's like the biggest problem. I've got school on Monday.
Yeah, fuck school. That's a good way to end this. Fuck school, don't go to school, drop out.
Yeah, dude. Teachers never told me that.
Yeah, guys, life hack. If you don't like school, just don't go anymore.
Mhm.
You're gonna find success somehow, I promise you.
There's always another door waiting to be opened.
Yeah, like we're on that new wave. It's not stay in school. It's leave if you think that you're too cool for it and that you'd rather stay home and do drugs.
Yeah. Hope.
School is for squares.
We're going to hell. All right, that
Yeah.
was episode 14 of the Ice Game 6 show. Thanks for tuning in.
This is
Signing
a
off
pleasure.
from us over here. Mason, you can stay
Imported
later.
Texas.
Representing New Caney, y'all.
Derek signing off from Porter, Texas.
Yeah, shout out to Derek for doing all the switching today.
We
You did a
gave him
good
a
job.
mic so that you could hear him.
It's pretty neat.
All right, later. Take it easy.
Later.